through hallways and alleys. Dark days I carry, sharp pains and bellies. All days be heavy when you're programmed to survive. Legendary ciphers get the MCs in the jobs. The city never sleeps, slept from 1 to 5. When COVID hit the block and we had to stay inside. Tough love is all I know, so be gentle with my soul. Learn to navigate winters with no coat. If you never been cold, you never been broke. Hustle 24/7 just to stay afloat. So New York, like dollar pizza in the cold world. Shit, that real life grit from the heart of the city is as hard as it gets. This that New York shit, that real life grit from the heart of the city is as hard as it gets. This that New York shit.
Tell me that you feeling like the A-ball. Show me what you got, little mama. Turn on with your lip gloss on and get it poppin'. Headed to the bed to get a milli, I be rockin'. A two-step move and I know it's not an option. Tell me, come help me. Need you tonight, don't fail me. Goddamn, you think you have me. You be poking in the mirror and yourself.
Peace, fam. Welcome to Cannabis in the City. I am your co-host, Jamil Myrie.
And I am your co-host, Professor Terrence Coffee.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And where are we at?
We are here doing something extremely special. Today's episode is a little different. Spring is in the air, and we had to go outside. We aren't on set, so we ain't on set. We ain't in the studio. We ain't behind some desks. Today, we are on location at Brooklyn's first Black and woman-owned legal dispensary right here at Mata Dispensary in Park Slope. Brooklyn! Oh, you mean? Pow, pow, pow!
And as you can see behind us, this isn't a stage set. Customers are walking in, products are moving, commerce is alive, and real conversations are happening. Because in the cannabis industry, and this industry isn't just about policy or headlines, it's about people, it's about entrepreneurs, it's about workers, and it's about communities experiencing this new legal industry, this market in real time.
Real time, absolutely. That's right. You know, and a lot of people, they see the finished product, a beautiful dispensary, products on the shelves, customers coming in through the door. But what they don't see is the journey that it takes to get here, right? And so opening a licensed cannabis dispensary, especially in New York City, it ain't easy.
There are a lot of regulations that come with that. There are a lot of obstacles. And there are a host of risks that goes into this, and it takes a whole lot of perseverance to really manage and continue to move this forward. And I think that being here today, we're going to be diving into some of those conversations.
Absolutely, absolutely. So today, we're doing something special. We're taking you inside the dispensary experience, not just as customers, but as storytellers. We're gonna talk with visionary who built this space and learn what it really took to bring this dream to life. This is Cannabis in the City. Let's spark the conversation. We'll be right back. As we mentioned earlier, today we are inside the heart of a working dispensary right here in Park Slope at Mata Dispensary in Brooklyn. Before us, customers are browsing, conversations are happening, and the legal cannabis market is moving forward in real time. Opening a dispensary requires vision, resilience, a whole lot of patience, and some real money. Without further ado, we are so excited and humbled to bring to the show the owner, chief cook, Bakawasha of the Mata Dispensary, Empress Leeann Mata.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to have y'all in my store. This is about legacy. This is what the card was about.
Yes, indeed. Empress, give thanks. You know, you wear many hats, many titles, as many Black women do. Among them, you are a Brooklynite, a mother, an author, an advocate, right? A CEO, matriarch. How many jobs you have? You have too many jobs.
I have 10 jobs.
10 jobs, yes.
That's the way of the West.
All right, indeed. And so, let's run it back. All right, start at the beginning. You began in public health education, and as I understood, through your mother's passion as a cannabis advocate, you get touched, right? And before all of this, there was an idea, right? There was an idea before this beautiful dispensary, before the knowledgeable staff, an idea. What was the vision behind Marijuana?
Yeah, and I think take us back to that moment that you saw that in moment in time that you wanted to create this space.
When I realized cannabis was medicinable, I was getting my mother off of opioids. And I said, I got something here. I literally took the side of my bed, about an 8 by 8 square feet, started growing on the tent next to my bed. I said, my mother loved opioid pills. I said, what if I grow it and put it in pill form? Would this help her with the pain management and stop what the pain medicine was doing to her stomach? So I gave it to her in pill form. She was like, this is the only thing helping me eat. She said, but my knees still hurt. So I said, let me order some shea butter. I put the THC in the shea butter. She started rubbing it on her knees and dancing in the tub, after the tub. I got the video of her whining. She said, I can whine again.
Yo, wind up.
Listen, she said, put on some berries.
What? Aman?
Yes.
Oh, the crooner. Wow.
And she took a wine, and I said, I got to get this to seniors. I got to get it to other people. How can I do it? To me, cannabis was a blunt. To her, it was a shea butter. It was a pill. It was she had it in oral form where she could take the couple of drops. And this is before I even visited a dispensary.
Oh, wow.
I didn't have no knowledge of, there's tinctures. There's shea butter already infused. I was trying to save my mother.
So this was really birthed out of love.
Yes, out of love.
Out of fact, it was really birthed out of love and then gave birth to, wow.
So the reality of of getting here, right, to this point, like opening a cannabis dispensary in New York City is not like anything anybody else I think could really imagine, as far as just like a typical retail business, regulations, licensing hurdles, compliance requirements, and yes, money. What did it actually take to bring marijuana to life?
They gave me this license and told me figure it out, right? They didn't tell me I needed insurance. Even up until, yes, I had a business prior, but I was paying sale tax. Excess size tax is different. So my first payment to the government went to regular tax, sales tax. Didn't know until I got a letter saying you're penalized because you did not pay your excess size tax.
The excise tax, yeah.
Yes. So I had to figure out how to get the sale tax from that point of moving it to the excise tax. Just a little guidance could have went a long way. So not only understanding who you got to pay the tax to, who do I buy the product from? People was coming from California with pounds like, sell my weed, and I'm like, can I? Can I? Like, is this clean? Is it tested? Can I get a test or something? Thank you for the pound, but anything? Can I? Is this clean? Is it tested? Can I get a test or something? Thank you for the pound, but anything?
So a quick question, was there a moment during the process where things got especially difficult for you, or where you wonder how these doors would stay open? Would they open? Anything that happened to you in that moment that you...
So where it was an injunction, they sued New York State because they was giving it too many, I heard, people and the equity part wasn't agreed upon.
I heard.
So that held us up opening for a long period of time. So I didn't know if I was going to open. I took my son college fund and invested just to pay lawyers to negotiate deals for me, whether it was getting investments and stuff. So to me, I was like, how am I gonna feed my kids? I invested every dime I had into this. They promised me legacy, the legal. I want the legacy back because the legal ain't happening. So that's how I felt. So those 6, 7 months, I'm like, how am I gonna feed my kids? And nobody cared. Only time that it got real when I did get my license. That's when the cameras came and the interest came. But when the license in between the injunctions, we were nobodies. We were just people that spent our last $2,000 on a license and a dream. So that hurdle was very scary. I thought I wouldn't have to be on a corner like this, like.
But you were able to man that.
Therapy and prayers.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Indeed. So let's fast forward to today. Customers are walking through the doors. People are buying products legally. The vision has become reality. Tell us, like, what does this mean for you?
To me, it means that guy that came in here and he asked me, how can I help his wife sleep? She hasn't slept. They giving her all this medicine and nothing is helping her sleep. We gave them the Camino's deep sleep, and he came back next day and he thanked me because he was going to get a murder. And I said, murder was not the case that they gave me. Caminos is what they gave. So you know what I'm saying? I didn't want him or the person that come to me and said, I haven't ate in 8 months and I was diagnosed with cancer and they're giving me all these medicines. And our customer base is 75% seniors.
Wow.
We do 400 people on a Friday.
400 seniors.
300
75%. Right, I got you.
That 400
Wow.
is seniors.
Okay.
I said, who was your plug before me? I want to know.
Yes. Word.
But we're serving an untapped community that is not talk. Those are the people that are voting.
Yeah.
Those are the people that fought for the legalization. Those seniors.
And really, like, beyond the business of cannabis itself, I think that I'm also concerned about the impact that marijuana has been having on the community. As you know, when I first came here, we came here for an event, and I saw the space and I saw the amazing work that you're doing in the community and continue to do. How was that part of the development of this space?
Well, my mother, Donna Heather Mata, she fed so many kids. She told me anybody could get a meal. She enforced education. Her home was a safe haven. My store is a safe haven. We done help people get their LLCs. Right now, a woman just came to me with 3 kids. She survived domestic violence. We raised over $3,000 in supplies. I'm doing God's work.
You feed people in the community here. You give toys to kids in the community here. You made this space that people in the community can just come and chill out in mama's living room. Because you know this mama's living room to me.
This everybody living. This everybody living.
This everybody living room.
Everybody. The wooden
Wow.
panels. The color TV on the black and white TV. We had the clock there. The old fixtures of the old pictures. This is what Brooklyn was. This is anybody living room. You could walk in and you could get a plate. You could get food. You could get knowledge.
You really brought that to life in this space.
And everybody does a book bag drive, right?
Wow.
But we did the car seat drive. If you come to me and you need something, we're gonna find a way. Even if I gotta rely on the processes, I come to them, I'm like, listen, you in my store. This store is grounded on community. This family needs help. They bought the couch for the woman. So it's not only just me back home supported us.
Everything that's connected to you, you're navigating, saying that this is the culture we're going to keep in this community.
And if you want to be in my store, you have to give back. You have to. We're not going to push and not take. We're not going to just be takers. We're going to be give and takers.
That's what's up.
It's a give and take.
I know that we are having such a great time. I mean, this is always the case. I have one final question, right, that I'd love to ask you. As is the case, our viewers, our audience, there are folks that are they're looking at cannabis dispensaries that are opening all over, right? And they're like, yo, that's easy money. I would love if you could just share your real talk. Real talk.
Money.
You know what I'm saying?
Get them
real
that
talk.
easy money.
You know what I'm
Get them
saying?
that easy
About
money.
that easy money. Especially, I'm talking about black and brown folks in the community, like, you know, really putting them on to, like, it's not easy money. You
All
know?
right, I made 10 million, right? 10 million, let's start there. $5 million of that went to product. 26% of that, 2.6 million went to taxes.
Okay.
Now we're left with 2.4 million.
2.4
That's
mil.
just sales tax, the
Right.
26, right?
Right.
Now we're at 2.4. We still have to pay state. We have to pay federal. We have to rent. My rent is $30K. So we're already taking away with the taxes that I have to pay their taxes. So we at $350K right there. It's gone, right? That's not the staff. That's not the light. That's not the gas. That's not the insurance. Now New York State is requiring that we give everyone a 401K if you got 14 or more staff.
Yep, I saw that.
So a lot of us got a job. That's what we got. They say a license, I say a job. And the only difference is it's 24 hours. Before I was working in Board of Ed 8 to 3. Now I'm working 24 hours, so I got a job.
Wow.
Wow. Well, listen, Leanne, I want to thank you so much for inviting us into this space, and we're going to have some continued conversations because I definitely got to discuss your book, The Field of Blue Dreams. We're going to get into that because I'm getting a copy while I'm here. We'll kick off on that later. Huh?
You get me one?
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
cool. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Damn, he caught me on camera saying that.
Now you owe him now.
Now I'm able to. Wow.
Yes. And so thank you so much for sharing your vision. Thank you for opening the doors of Matawana to us and really giving us a real look inside the dispensary and what it takes to build something real and meaningful in this industry.
And in this community.
And thank you so much for sharing your vision and giving us a real look at what it takes to build something meaningful about community in this industry. After the break, we'll return to speak with a bud tender, actually the #1 bud tender in New York, and learn about products and the customer experience. This is Let's Talk Cannabis.
Why are there not more people talking about cannabis in New York?
This segment fixes that.
Real voices.
Real answers.
Hey, we're Cannabis in the City.
Let's talk about cannabis, what you heard.
We hit the sidewalks to amplify community voices.
What people think they know.
And what they don't.
Many New Yorkers still don't know cannabis is legal.
Or what that even means. Career paths?
Most aren't hearing about those opportunities. Safe use.
The truth about legalization.
Are missing from way too many chats.
Subscribe to Cannabis in the City on YouTube.
Listen on all podcast platforms.
We just had a powerful conversation with owner Leeann Mata about her vision behind Matawana and what it took to bring the dispensary to life. But a dispensary isn't just about ownership, right? The real experience happens right here at the counter, on the retail floor, where customers engage with the staff who guide them through the wondrous world of cannabis. Bud tenders are the front line. They're the educators, the guides, and sometimes they're helping people navigate cannabis for the very first time. Don't be scared. So today, I'm excited to talk with someone who's on the front lines of the dispensary experience every day at Matawana.
Joining us now is the #1 bud tender in all of NYC, New York, Dominique from Matawana Dispensary. Dominique, what's good?
How you doing?
Day I'm in the ocean up. Wagwan. I know I'm crazy. I know. It's fine. How are you though?
I'm great.
Yeah?
Yes.
Well, I am great to have this time with you and to really kind of just break things down. You know, I think a lot of people think that bud tenders, I can call you bud tenders, is that cool? All
course.
right, cool. They think that bud tenders just stand behind the counter and sell products, kind of like Chipotle, kind of like McDonald's,
Subway,
just
something.
Subway, walk up and I want that, I want that, I want this. but you know, it's a lot more complex than that.
Mhm.
You know, tell us, like, what does the job of a bud tender actually involve? You know, like with a customer, how do you begin the conversation, you know, to determine what do they need?
Well, first thing I would say as a bud tender, I would say know your product.
No,
If you don't know your product or the different categories of your product, you won't be able to sell. Meaning as in knowing the difference between like sativa, indica, hybrid, the different types of hybrids. There's 2 different types, and also the different types of sativas and indicas as well. So if you don't know your strands or know your like the categories or your cannabinoids, you won't be able to sell. So usually like in the beginning of the day, we come in, we'll look in the bag, look at the product, refresh our memory of, you know, what's going on, what we have to sell. And when a customer comes in, we usually tell them, you know, how do you want to feel today? That's the first question of hand. How do you want to feel? Like, how do you want to start your day, end your day? In the middle, like, what are you trying to look for? Like, what feeling are you trying to achieve? And also we ask them what type of potency you're looking for, because every product has their own type of potency where you can measure out your own measurements to dose yourself.
Okay.
So say if you want to do a 10 milligram edible for stress,
Right.
and you don't know how this edible is going to react to your body right away. You can cut it in half to do 5 milligrams to see how that 5 milligrams react to you within 30 minutes to an hour. Then if it doesn't do anything, take the other half. So that way you know, okay, 10, I could do 10. Maybe let me do 15. Let me do another
Okay.
half to see how the 15 reacts to my body.
All right. Okay. I like to say, you just say a word, right? That was a word. Many words. I'm like just trying to digest all that, synthesize it. So let's sort of slow it down a little bit, you know, for our audience members. You know, being here on the floor, the retail floor, there are so many products, right?
Yes.
But like, probably you hear a lot of the same questions from certain customers when they come in. What are some of those questions and maybe some of the biggest misconceptions that customers have, you know, that they still have?
Most of the time when people come in here, they get confused about CBD and THC.
Okay.
They feel like anything that has CBD in it will make them feel sleepy automatically, which is not necessarily true. It will sedate, it will mellow you out a little bit, but it depends on where you're combining it with,
Okay.
or what type of strand is combining with the CBD.
So it's like one component of a large, I guess it's like a
Exactly.
chain. It's like
Exactly.
you're in one ingredient with another ingredient with another ingredient, that sort of, like we call it the entourage effect.
Exactly,
Right?
and it's
Okay.
more like ratios. So if you
Okay,
know your
okay.
ratios, and if you know like the different ratios of each one, you will understand it better.
Okay. That I think is extremely helpful for, you know, just our audience to really hear. Like I said, there's so many different products here, especially with, you know, there's flour, there's edibles, there's vapes, there's concentrates, there's drinks. We go on and on, tablets, you know, wow. How do you help someone choose the right product without like overwhelming them?
Okay, so first thing I will ask them is, how do you want to consume your THC?
Okay.
Because
I want to
that's-
consume. I'm an edible guy, right?
So you're an edible
Yeah.
person. Okay, so what type of feeling are you looking for exactly in your edible?
I'm joyful. I don't want to be like mellowed out.
So you want more like a sativa.
Yeah.
Granted. Do you want your sativa to be energized or creative?
I'm both. So it depends. Like, am I going out? Am I trying to write a script?
Right.
Right.
It depends on how you going for the day. Like, what is your plans for the day? If you're going home to write a song, write a script, like you said, write a poem, or any type, play games,
Right.
anything active-wise,
Right.
creative, euphoric feeling, definitely the sativa to go for. More of like off hours, like euphoric,
Okay,
or
okay.
the off hours illuminate.
Okay.
It's focusing on creativity and energy.
Okay.
If you're looking for something more like an energy-wise to work out,
Okay.
I would do the off hours
Whoa.
line.
You said to work out.
To work out.
To utilize it, like instead of drinking a Red Bull.
Exactly.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
And there's a strand that will actually give you that energy also. So
Wow.
Jack Herrera
Okay.
is definitely a sativa strand that will give you the boost of energy.
But I gotta smoke it.
You have to,
Oh.
we have it in a vape. We have it in the vape as well.
Okay.
And also the strand is crossed with the edible as well.
Okay. Wow. All right, Black, you gotta put me on. You have a tremendous command of, like I think you said, you really have to, as a skill, have the knowledge, right? Product knowledge. I'm getting to read as well. Like you're also like a witch. You gotta read people. You gotta feel their energy.
Yes.
You know, putting people at ease. You know, in terms of just, you know, might be a first timer that coming in, like, you know. So I'm getting, you know, comfortability, ease of speaking with people, product knowledge. Are there any other skill sets skills that you would kind of put into that for,
My
you know?
my main thing with when a customer comes in, if it's a first timer or if it's a regular customer that we have on a regular basis, my main objective, take your time.
Okay.
I tell every customer that, take your time. Understand what you're getting. I'd rather for you to have clarity than for you to be unsure. I will sit here and talk to you. We could go through each product together so that way you can understand the ratio, the cannabinoids, and the THC percentage in this product that you're getting. Because I don't want you to be paranoid. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. I don't want you to feel like overpowered by the consumption of what you're taking.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So, someone watching right now is sitting at home or listening on a podcast platform, driving, and they're like, man, I always wanted to go, you know, work in the dispensary or what have you. Like, what would, in terms of working into the cannabis industry, would you say that bud tender is a very comfortable entry point, you know, in terms of working in the space?
Yes, I feel like that's the best way to get your hands in or your foot into the industry, to understand what it's about.
Okay.
So that way, even if you never worked in the industry at all, you come in the dispensary, you understand your coworkers, understand, you know, who you're working with, get the breakdown of what's what. That we don't only have flower or pre-rolls. There's other type of ways that people can consume cannabis.
Okay.
Once you understand that and you understand the difference, everything else will flow.
Right.
It will become easy, especially if you consume yourself.
Right.
You know how you want to feel. So when you get a customer, talk to them as if like you want to be talked to. So that way you understand what you're buying.
Okay.
When you walk out that door, you understand, like, I know for a fact that this girl done hooked me up.
So let me ask you a question. How did you get started?
Honestly, I've been in the industry for like 3 years now.
3 years. Oh,
3
wow.
years now. But when I came here, I have yet to find a dispensary that makes me feel like I'm involved.
Okay.
And my voice is heard. I can honestly say Miss Leanne definitely took me in and made me feel like that I belong. Made me feel like my wisdom, my knowledge is not overlooked.
Okay.
You know what you're talking about, do you, girl?
Okay.
Sell that.
Okay.
You know exactly what you're talking about. Don't let nobody overstep you or overpower you. Sell that. And ever since I've been working here, I've been here for a year and a month now, and I wouldn't change nothing for the world.
You just gave me goosebumps. I got charged with goosebumps, like overcome with like emotion, like, yes, that's what's up. I love that. I've been doing this and doing this and doing this, but let's do something fun. Like this is all this product here. Let's say I'm a customer who needs something I'm just having a hard time sleeping.
Okay.
What would you recommend for me for sleep?
Okay, so first thing, I'll welcome in.
Hi.
How you feeling today?
Oh, great.
Okay, what are you looking for today? Edible, pre-roll, vape?
I would look for, smoking chokes me up, but like maybe an edible or maybe a tincture or something.
Okay. You want it for
really
sleep?
want it
You
for
want it to
sleep,
keep you asleep, or you just want it to help you go to sleep?
Both.
Okay, granted. So I will go with the Caminos. How's your tolerance first? So I'm sorry.
I'm not experienced.
So I will go with the Caminos, the deep sleep. Reason why? Because they're 5 milligrams.
Okay.
You can also cut it down to 2.5 if you like, if you feel like the 5 is too strong for you.
Okay.
But the thing is with those, they have CBD and CBN. CBN is going to be more of a sedative, more like it's going to sedate you. It's going to keep you asleep and you're going to stay asleep. You're going to wake up in the morning feeling great, but you're not going to wake up in the middle of the night.
Oh, okay. I love that. So that was great. Now, let's say I'm a first-time customer, because first-time customers oftentimes are nervous. Maybe they try to like flip it, but like real quick, like, how would that look?
So I actually today, earlier, I was talking to one of my customers today about her journey, how she came, because I was with her from the beginning to now. She started off as a beginner. She didn't smoke since She told me college, so that's been years. We're not gonna put that out there.
Okay.
It's my girl.
All right.
But she knows she haven't smoked for a while, so I told her, how do you want to start back? She said she want to start with pre-rolls. So I gave her a half-gram pre-roll. I told her, take this pre-roll and we have books here where you can write your notes
journaling.
down.
Okay, yeah.
So I told her, every time you get something from here, journal what you like and what you don't like.
Okay.
How it kind of acts with your body.
Okay.
How fast do you catch, the munchies.
Yes, okay.
How quickly you feel your high. How does it act to you, everything. How do you feel, like what you want to do. Write it down so that way you know and that I know we either going to go over this again or not.
All right.
To this day, my girl's doing 7 grams.
What? Oh, wow.
Okay.
I need to come see you. Oh, wow.
Okay.
I need to come see you, Dominique. Seriously. I'm just so grateful and truly blessed to have shared this time and to have had you, the number one bud tender in NYC.
I appreciate you too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This was so much fun.
It was amazing.
So much fun. Thank you for giving us a real look at what happens behind the counter.
Right.
The success of a dispensary doesn't just come from great products, right? It comes from an amazing team, knowledge, trust, and a community that cares about the customer's experience.
That's right.
And that's exactly what you get here at Mata Dispensary in Park Slope, Brooklyn. We talked about the vision. We talked about the journey, right?
Yes, we did.
And we've seen what it takes to bring legal cannabis experience to the community every single day. Thank you, Dominique. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you, Abi J. Thank you, the entire team here at Mata Dispensary for welcoming us inside. More to come when we return.
Did you know that in New York, it's illegal to drive after smoking weed? Many believe recreational cannabis is a free pass, but that's not true. Even if you only have a little green in your system, you can be pulled over and face serious charges. And it gets worse. If someone is smoking in your car, you can still get a ticket, even if you weren't the one lighting up. Police are cracking down on impaired driving to keep roads safe. So if you enjoy cannabis, remember, never drive high. It's not just dangerous, it's illegal. Your rights are important, but so are your responsibilities. Always opt for a sober ride or use designated drivers. Knowledge is power, especially with the laws changing all the time. Stay informed, stay safe, and drive responsibly in the city that never sleeps.
From handcuffs to paychecks,
NYC's $3.5 billion cannabis industry needs you.
while 94% of marijuana arrests hit people of color,
The legal market is booming with over 60,000 jobs coming online. That's where Cannabis in the City comes in.
we're bringing you real talk
Real stories,
and real justice from the front lines of New York's cannabis transformation.
from Let's Talk Cannabis to our Corner Boys segments.
We're breaking down the scene with truth, tools, and community.
Watch justice-impacted New Yorkers turn their lived experience into career opportunities.
Subscribe to Cannabis in the City on YouTube. Let's spark the conversation.
Welcome back to Justice in Cannabis. We break down what's growing, what's glowing, and what's going wrong in New York's legal green rush. I'm your host, Sean Farrell from CJI's Justice Lab. Jeff has the night off tonight, so it's just me. And honestly, we got all three. Something growing, something glowing, and definitely something going wrong. Let's get into it. We talk a lot about convictions and how they mess with your life. Jobs, housing, licenses, the basics you need to build something real. But tonight, let's zoom out, way out. Forget the local courthouse where you might go to clear a record. We're talking about the federal appeals courts, the big leagues, because something just went wrong that can mess with the whole industry. So here's the deal. States like New York and Washington give preference to local folks when handing out cannabis license. Makes sense, right? That's the whole point of MARTA. Help New Yorkers hurt by the war on drugs finally get a piece of that pie. But out-of-state companies have been pissed, and they've been suing. They say there's a constitutional rule, the Dormant Commerce Clause, that bars states from playing favorites with businesses just because they're out of town. Here's the twist. Weed is still federally illegal, classified as Schedule I substance under the Controlled Substance Act. So in January, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled that the DCC, constitutional doctrine that prevents states from discriminating against interstate commerce, does not apply to state legal cannabis markets. The court's reasoning? Because Congress has deemed the market illegal at the federal level, states cannot be said to be interfering with a legitimate interstate market that the federal government says shouldn't exist in the first place. Translation, the feds said weed is illegal. So court in California just says states can play favorites with local cannabis businesses because technically that's not supposed to be an interstate weed market to discriminate against. You can't complain about being left out of something the government says isn't supposed to be happening at all. But here's the problem. Two other federal appeals courts, the First Circuit in Boston, that's Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and somehow Puerto Rico, and our own Second Circuit right here in New York, which covers Connecticut, New York, and Vermont, ruled the exact opposite. They struck down the residency requirement in Maine and New York, saying they do violate the Constitution. So now we got a full-blown circuit split. 3 federal courts, 2 completely different answers, and a whole bunch of uncertainty. That's the kind of mess that the Supreme Court was built to clean up. Whether they actually take it, that's the billion-dollar question. Now here's the wild card in case things couldn't get messier. The Trump administration wants to move cannabis from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3. That might sound like inside baseball, but here's why it matters. The Ninth Circuit's whole argument was built on one idea. Congress says that markets shouldn't exist at all. So if the feds are calling it Schedule 3, which means they're acknowledging that there's medical value, then suddenly the market does exist, at least in the government's eyes. That undercuts everything the court decided. But what if nothing changes? Because, right, rescheduling can take years, or it could just not happen. So let's talk about that reality. If cannabis stays exactly where it is, Schedule 1, here's where we land. The Ninth Circuit's decision in these 9 states, California, Washington, Oregon, Arizona, Nevada, and a few others, in those states, they can keep giving preference to local applicants. But here in New York and in Connecticut, the Second Circuit's opposite rule applies. That means our residency preferences are still vulnerable to be struck down. Translation, your rights depend on your zip code. A cannabis business owner in California gets protection that a business owner in New York doesn't. Same industry, same product, completely different rules. That's not justice. That's just a patchwork mess. Interstate commerce, still banned. Banks, still scared to touch weed money. Small businesses, still getting crushed by Section 280E, the tax penalties. That's what's going wrong across the board. But here's where the court circuit split hits home. If you're a cannabis business in California, Washington, Oregon, Arizona, Nevada, and so many others, the Ninth Circuit covers you. In those states, the court says it's okay to favor local applicants. Your advantage is protected. But if you're here, or in Connecticut, or Vermont, the Second Circuit covers us. And here, the courts have said the opposite. Our residency preferences are vulnerable. They could be challenged and struck down at any moment. What this means for you, if you're a New York equity licensee who fought hard for your license, your advantage holds for now. But don't get comfortable. The legal ground beneath you could shift. If you're an out-of-state investor with dollar signs in your eyes, your path in New York remains legally murky. You can invest, but you can't expect to hold a license yourself, at least not yet. And if you're waiting for federal clarity before jumping into the industry, well, grab a snack. You're going to be here a while. 3 courts, 2 rules, 1 big mess. That's what's going wrong. The only certainty is uncertainty. But let's be real, if you wanted stability, you would probably pick a different plan. Here's what we do at the Justice Lab. We help you understand what this chaos actually means for your license, and more importantly, your future. Because a court ruling on one side of the country can still affect what happens to your business right here in New York. Let us help you make sense of it. All right, let's talk about things going wrong. Some more of it. This time at the Office of Cannabis Management. You've seen the headlines, resignation, drop cases, industry pissed off. Let me connect the dots. Here's what went down. Last fall, OCM filed charges against Long Island processor Omnium Health. The allegation? A rent-a-license scheme, also called reverse licensing, where Omnium allegedly let unlicensed out-of-state brands like Stitzy, Gran, and M-Fuse manufacture products in their facility. Direct violation of New York law. which was designed to keep multi-state operators from dominating the market. The whole point was to give local equity applicants a real shot. OCM's newly formed Trade Practices Bureau took a hardline stance, led by former prosecutor James Rogers. They sought to revoke Omnium's license, impose millions of fines, and issue a statewide recall of all associated products. About 30 mil. This was supposed to be OCM's "we got teeth" moment. The moment they showed the industry they actually enforced some rules. Then it fell apart. In December, OCM abruptly dropped the case. No real explanation, no new information. That's it. Few words. Same month, Governor Hochul asked acting executive director Felicia Reed to resign. Then all of a sudden, James Rogers, he left. So within weeks, the agency dropped the biggest enforcement case, lost its top leader, and lost the prosecutor leading the investigation. When the agency running the show drops the biggest case and loses its leaders in the same month, legal operators, consumers, and communities pay the price. That's what's going wrong. And that's why the Justice Lab exists, to hold the system accountable and make sure you don't get lost in the chaos. Clearing records, securing certificates, navigating the fallout, that's what we do. The system might be shaky, but we're here to be your stable ground. All right, enough of what's going wrong. Let's talk about, finally, what's actually growing and something that's low-key glowing, the 500-foot problem. Last July, OCM dropped a bombshell. They announced that they had been measuring distances to schools incorrectly. The original law said dispensaries had to be at least 500 feet from the school's property line, but regulars had been approving applicants based on the distance from the entrance. Different measuring methods, different results. When they realized the mistake, more than 150 licensed or soon-to-be dispensaries were suddenly out of compliance. 47 applicants and 105 licensees got letters saying they might have to relocate or close. Think about that. These are people who signed leases, built out stores, installed security systems, hired local staff, invested their life savings, hundreds of thousands of dollars, all based on approvals in the state, now saying we were wrong. That was the crisis. That was what was going wrong. But here's where it shifts. Senate Bill 9155. Governor Hochul this past February, signed Senate Bill 9155 into law. And here's what it does. New clear distance rules. Dispensaries cannot be on the same street and within 500 feet of the school's entrance. Dispensaries cannot be on the same street or within 200 feet of a house of worship entrance. Distance is measured in a straight line from the center of one entrance to the center of the other door to door. The law also defines what counts as an entrance. These are doors regularly used by students, congregants, or customers, non-emergency exits or maintenance doors. Here's the crucial part. Grandfathering. Existing licensees, anyone before February 11, 2026, are deemed compliant. They can stay put. They can renew their licenses without fear of relocation. Pending applicants who receive written confirmation from OCM that their location complied with earlier standards will have their applications reviewed under the pre-July 2025 procedures. If approved, they can open up at that location. That's over 150 dispensaries saved, nearly a third of all cannabis retailers in the state. Families can breathe again. So that's what's growing. Stability, clarity, and a path forward. What's glowing? Owners like Osbar Adornia, owner of the cannabis place in Middle Village, was directly affected. He called the legislation a perfect balance, maintaining safeguards for the youth while providing dispensaries that are stable and able to operate securely. Not everybody was happy. State Senator Joe Addabbo Jr. voted no. He concerned that the accessibility and visibility of cannabis products in areas where young people congregate. And look, that concern matters, no doubt. Kids should be protected. But here's the reality check. These aren't faceless corporations. They're not big MSOs. They're our neighbors. The person who signed the lease lives down the block. The store is run by the family who poured their retirement into a build-out. These are our friends who hired local staff and finally saw a door open after years of being locked out. They showed up, they invested, they believed. And when the state messed up, they didn't just give up. They organized, they advocated, and they fought for a fix. That's what's glowing. The community showing up for each other, that's the real answer, not punishment. It's partnership. So parents, talk to your kids, schools, teach them. Store owners, hold the line, keep products secure, check IDs, and be responsible. Protecting the youth and protecting equity aren't opposites. They're the same fight, shared responsibility. Because the wealth gap doesn't close when we pull up the ladder. It closes when we stand by the people who climb. So a measuring tape almost wiped out over 100 equity businesses. Let that sink in. The lesson? Read the fine print. Organize with your peers. Never assume the state's first answer is the right one. But here's what's glowing through all of this. The community showed up, they fought back, and they won. And now we're seeing the beautiful industry growing. And that's the spirit we need more of. We're at our time. So here's a quick recap. Courts are divided. That's what's going wrong. Regulators are in flux. That's what's also going wrong. But we also saw 150 dispensaries saved in a community that refused to back down. That's what's growing. And honestly, that's what's glowing. At the Justice Lab, we can't fix the courts. We can't settle the circuit splits. We can't make OCM get their act together overnight. But here's what we can do. We can help you understand all of this chaos and what it actually means for your record, for your license, and your future. We can cut through the noise, clear what needs to be clearing, secure what needs to be secured. Because through all this uncertainty, one thing stays true. Your past doesn't have to define your future. Got a conviction? Cannabis or otherwise? Reach out to us. Our work is free. Let's turn that promise of a second chance into an actual pathway forward. In a system that's uncertain, we're your steady hand. And in a fight that's far from over, we're right there with you. This is Sean Farrell. Remember, every fresh start begins with a single spark. Together, we're sparking change. Make sure you like, follow, and share, and visit our website at thecji.org.
Comic Books for Justice was funded to do what many think is impossible: transform lives behind bars with comics, receiving the Community Leaders Grant from Citizens Committee for New York City. We will place 10,000 comics in correctional facilities across New York State through our Turning the Page initiative, in partnership with SUNY and Hudson Link for Higher Education in Prison. Comics drive literacy, hope, and real change. And we're just getting started. Next up, Comics in the City, bringing this power to youth across NYC. Want to fuel this movement? Become one of our 100 super friends. Donate now. Visit cb4j.org and help us turn the page on justice.
Everyone, my name is Professor Coffee, and this segment, as you know, is called the Corner Boys. We are right here in Brooklyn. My boy called it Park Slope, but me and you gonna call it Brooklyn. Brooklyn. And I am super excited to have Leanne here sitting in with me today. This segment is dedicated to addressing opportunities, justice, as well as injustice in this space. So, Leanne, you know, I've been here a few times, so you already know I got on my Marijuana shoes, just so you'll know that I'm still rocking them, and I'll be rocking them, and we'll be doing that. But it's been so great being here with you, having the amazing conversations and looking at the amazing work that you're doing in the community that reflects your commitment, justice, and providing opportunities for individuals that have been impacted by anti-cannabis enforcement. However, I do want to take a moment because there was a recent article in the New York Times by Ashley Sutherhall in which she addressed some of the challenges that you faced as a minority-owned owner of a dispensary here. And just to jump in it, but to jump in, and what has that process been like, and where are you at with that, and where are we going with this?
I feel like we're being criminalized all over again. They're dragging us back in these court systems, and all we did was apply for a license. And some of us, yes, we didn't know. Mm-hmm. We thought we were building equity, but in reality, we were building equity for other people. This license is a job. We got a job. So some of us is making less than we did before we got the license at our other job.
And so when we talk about equity in this space, when we talk about social equity, when we talk about communities and individuals that have been most harmed, and then we create this social equity program. And we have individuals like you, and I read the article, I was astonished, kind of surprised, or I shouldn't have been surprised, should I?
No.
And you now are facing some legal challenges in this space, so where's that landing and what's happening in that space?
I feel like a lot of information was missing. One thing was, it was 19 in the beginning until the day that we had to have the lease signed. And
When you say 19, for our audience, for those who may listen, so when you say 19,
19% of my company is what originally was supposed to be purchased with the investment. After we get the lease and we have to sign it, because if we did not have it by November 17th, we would have been in the December cube. You wanted to be in a November cube, you had to have a lease signed. So they knew that, and it was like, it's the deadline. Yeah, they wanted 19, but they want more equity, 19.9 minutes before I was about to sign my lease. So I would be in November cube.
And I do have that. How has that impacted your ability to expand or provide additional support or opportunities to individuals with a lived experience? Because you're leading that space, you open the door for opportunities. If that is being impacted, then the other part is being impacted, if I'm not
yes,
right?
Because another thing the auto didn't say is, yes, I got $700K to open up, but they got $325K back the first year from my company. That could have went to marketing. That could have went back to me giving more to the community. I had to take this money out because I was pressured. Like, hey, we invested this money, we need a return. But that's what they're not speaking on. As you can see, another dispensary that the same people that are suing me, they just announced they're closing today. That would have been me, because I couldn't deliver around my store. They were delivering around my store. So the 40 people that I deliver to today on a daily basis would have gone into their pockets. That's over $5,000 a day pulled from my company to their company.
As you said, we're having this conversation. We've seen the amazing work that you're doing in this community. We know the work that you do to support returning citizens, provide opportunity. What are some of the things that you would say to our friends at OCM, those who are in this dispensary space? What are some of the things that you think that can be done to better support the work that's being done, let's say with marijuana dispensary, that which I'm assuming may be trending throughout the industry in and of itself? What are some of the things that you think that our leaders can do to better service or provide opportunities or support our dispensary owners in this space?
So they say, all right, they're taking our tax dollars and they're putting back in disproportionate communities. Right now, card is disproportionate. They need to look at these deals that people took and see how they can help us get out of this. We're paying taxes at a high rate. We're hiring, I have over 15 people. At least 10 of them are coming from disproportional areas. I paid for LLC for people to start a business so they could offset their working income to their business. I'm educating people on a higher level. This money needs to go back into the dispensaries, and then we could redirect the money back into the taxes. We need your help. New York, OCM, we need your help. CARD needs your help. You really did this for people in equity. You did this for people in East New York, but you allowing these people from other states, other countries that don't look like us to come in here and take advantage of us? How many people are in court? Why don't they look at how many people with card licenses that are in court for getting a license? We are being criminalized again. Help!
They told me, now me and you gonna laugh on this point, but thank you for making that point. In that, because I think that when we're talking about some of these issues and we're addressing some of the challenges that we're talking, these are the voices we don't get to hear. I don't think we get to hear the frustration. I don't think we get to hear the injustice. I don't think we get to hear this part of it, because maybe, I don't know, some people want to kind of go play along to get along. I don't know what that is, what that's not. But I do appreciate you being able to be transparent in this work and what we're doing and the challenges that you're facing. That I'm positive the other dispensary owners may
be facing in this area. I want to pivot, but I want to hold that moment. What do you see in moving forward as you look at the future of marijuana dispensary here? What do you see as an opportunity to grow, and what some of the areas that you're really leaning into this year? I mentioned over there, I know you've just got the book, The Field of Blue Dreams, am I right?
Yes.
I told my boy, I said it should have been Green Dreams since she in the dispensary. It should have been the Green Dream, but the Blue Dreams, what is that?
The blue dream is like, some days you feel blue, right? Mm-hmm. And those days are the days that remind, that's why I picked blue, because it's never a green day. I'm in cannabis, but it's never green. I'm putting out fires. I'm always learning. I'm figuring this out as they gave it to me. So in my book, it's for single mothers. It's for people in East New York that don't know a way out. It talks about from getting investments to bad deals to even family disputes because you're a success. We're getting this license, and everything that we could possibly know about cannabis, we know. But everything about paying taxes, employing people, we might not. Wow. On this level. And you know, that book will give you that piece. So yes, you got blue stories about the investment, then you got green stories where I talk about how I hired so many people, how we fed over thousands of people.
Right,
we put school supplies in thousands of kids' backpack. We just did the car seat driving, gave this daycare 80 seats because they couldn't take the kids on trips because they didn't have car seats. So it's just about doing God's work with God's plan.
Doing it. Listen, everybody, I don't know why they always give me these timers. I see our executive producer out there. She always starting her stuff with her glasses on. She's seeing everything. We want to thank you. Listen, I am here at Marijuana Dispensary here in Park Slope in Brooklyn. You got to come down here. Please come visit. Please support. Please make your voices heard. My name is Professor Coffee. This has been Kona Boys, and this is Leeann Mata. Stay connected.
Community partnerships is a gathering of like-minded people who are interested in maintaining the legacy of their ancestors through arts and culture, and having conversations on a monthly basis with what I call art practitioners is just something that I'm wedded to. And again, Harlem Arts Alliance is the vehicle that we use to do that work.
Community partnerships are essential, I believe, for building long-term relationships and understanding of the community and the art. I think that that is the core of how we can really sustain the presence of Black and brown artists by being engaged consistently and joyfully.
Community partnership is all about creating legacy. Community partnerships mean to me stronger communities. Community partnerships mean strength.
The partnership is connection. Fostering a connection to be able to reach out to run an idea by a friend who can then connect you to others.
Community partnerships mean a lot. It means collaboration. It means connecting with one another to create something bigger than themselves.
One word that describes how I feel when I leave these meetings?
Empowered. Inspiration.
Inspired. Renewed.
Inspired. Inspired.
Through hallways and alleys, dark days I carry, sharp pains and bellies. All days be heavy when you're programmed to survive. Legendary ciphers get the MCs in the jobs. The city never sleeps, slept from 1 to 5 when COVID hit the block and we had to stay inside. Tough love is all I know, so be gentle with my soul. Learn to navigate winters with no coat. If you never been cold, you never been broke. Hustle 24/7 just to stay afloat. So New York, like dollar pizza in that cold world shit. That real life grit from the heart of the city is as hard as it gets. This that New York shit. That real life grit from the Heart of the city is as hard as it gets. It's that New York shit, that real